Hello, everyone. Please join your hand in front of the heart. And bow. Good to see you today from another perspective, right? I do not have the little table that I'm used to. It's used by someone else right now. All right. The the practice of insight practice is actually to um, come back to the body and to watch, observe whatever arises and sees. So it can be tactile sensation, mental impressions, moods, emotions, sights, and sounds, hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling. So again, thinking, touching the body. So whatever arises through the six sense doors, we observe rising and passing away. All right. So there is this receiving of all of that. Receiving. Whatever arises without judgment, it comes, it goes. Seems easy. And I was reflecting this morning about the Dhamma, and there is, let's say, this radical acceptance of whatever arises, of full receptivity, is often not that easy because we are not used to receive. We are not used to receive. Or so what can happen with our experience in daily life without us being aware of? What we do, we block. When we do not like, we block, right? Or even it might be depending on the personality of the person. It doesn't have to be a bad feeling that we want to block. It can be also that the good feelings we block. Even when someone is good to us, we can also block depending of what kind of experiences we went through life. Sometimes even receiving goodness from someone else can be difficult. Other people say, okay, bring that in, bring that in. Or it might happen that even someone says something good about you, and yet, block. Because you know that Yeah, maybe a lack of trust, or some people in the past also use this kind of praise to get something from you that was not very wholesome, or something like this. I don't know. We all have different experiences, stories, traumas, and of course we develop all kind of protective patterns. I'm not saying that those are good or those are bad, but reaction, we we block the heart. Right, this openness, receptivity, full acceptance, just receiving what's coming might not be that easy, and yet this is what we want to invite in meditation, in insight practice. Even when there is receiving and there is this blocking kind of mechanism, it can be mental, right? Then we have also to receive that, we are blocking, to receive that we are, closing the heart. This also has to be felt in terms of sensations. So one has usually it depends, but we have a kind of favorite side. There is also always in those dualities, black and white, or dark and light, or good and bad, and or aversion, greed. There is always kind of more averse people, more greedy people. And so we have often our favorite side. And learning to receive also the goodness of others. This is something that we have to learn. We have to learn to kind of learn to sense, learn to receive any kind. And sometimes, as I said, that we have our favorite side. So there is one side we do not even realize that we are not receiving. We are oblivious to that fact. We are maybe more aware of, okay, I don't like it, it's painful feeling, I block it, I do not want to receive that. This kind might be more obvious than blocking the goodness of others, or blocking good or pleasant feelings. So I'm just talking about receptivity in general, and we can learn or try to expand in our practice to consider all of those aspects. And because there is often this from our upbringing that we are never good enough. We are always kind of judged by others, or even, in judge regarding our skills, our academic skills. At schools, we have grades. When we do sports, there are competitions and so on. And also depending on our upbringing and how our parents, what they say to us, and also what we can say to ourselves, that we are never good enough. So we do not deserve to receive the good. And receptivity, this is also something I had to learn, actually. And Kung Fu practice helped me a lot in that, because we learn to block, we learn to and we learn to receive and let go. Okay, receive, let go. And there is that practice. There are different practice, but there is this practice where actually there is one person who is there to receive the hit, to receive the punch, to receive the. So there are 4 people around, and the person closes her eyes, and then the 4 people, very respectfully, because we are learning to receive, they gently, just really like this, no more like this. But so you have the eyes closed, and the others just punch you in the arms slowly, no more than this. But you learn to be receptive to that. All right. They punch you slowly, but they still go into the flesh, so that it's not just a little touch, they go in. So you learn to receive the punches, actually. There is also this exercise where you learn to receive in the belly the punches. So what's happening is that you are by 2 people. One people receive and the other one actually gives. So you learn both. You learn to give, you learn to receive. So it's also very slowly. You say to your partner, I'm going to punch you. Are you ready? Then you set up your mind if you are the person who's going to receive. And so the other person, okay, step forward, bring the punch slowly. First, you learn to receive slowly the punch in, and you get sensitive to it, how it feels like this. And then when you are ready, you say, I'm ready. You can go a bit stronger. So then the other person say, okay, I will go a bit either faster, either stronger. But always with lots of respect when also you give the punch, because the other one is learning. So you go, are you ready? Yes, I am ready. And then, okay. Either in amplitude, intensity. So, and then the other one receive, and tries to feel and say, okay, you can go a little bit more. And then you increase the intensity, the speed of the punch, and so on. So you train yourself to receive. And then you switch roles. So you also train to sensitive to how much you will punch, how fast, how deep you will go into the belly. And you learn also to listen to the other one. If the other one say, okay, that was a bit too much, can you go? And then you just do what you want to do and then go fast again. Then there is this, there is no more trust in the exercise, and you both can't learn. So there is listening, receptivity, so you learn how to receive, how to give. All right. So this kind of exercises actually helped me a lot because it was done in such a respectful environment, slowly, and it was really slowly. And there was this communication between the partner, your partner, and your own body. So you have to take care of the two, consider the two. I'm able to receive, I'm able to give. So you do not choose uh, your favorite side. You learn both. There is also this exercise when you kind of you are blindfolded to people, just touching hands, and then it goes a bit faster. You have to kind of try to put out of equilibrium the body of the other one. So it goes quite fast. You have to, so you don't see anything. You just have the sensitivity of the hands and of course the mind. You realize that if you want to be pushed away or something like this, the mind has to stay very calm in the midst of the activity of being pushed, of being pulled, of being grabbed. And it's actually very, very, you can, it's like in the sitting practice, but applied, let's say, during action. So this kind of exercises actually can help for sitting, and sitting can help for this kind of exercises. When you are in danger, and then you have to, either learn how to receive, let's go away, how to push, respond, and but stay still aware, focused. And you will realize during those exercises, at the moment you want to push the other away, or if you start to tense a bit, then this is the moment. If the other one is well trained, this is the moment when the other can bring you out of equilibrium, because you put yourself out of equilibrium, let's say. So that was a quite those are quite interesting practices. And this is what, during insight practice, you learn to see everything as it arises and when it ceases. So we learn this receptivity, this listening somehow. Listening, why? Because you realize when the mind starts to contract, and you do not have to do anything about it, just realizing that the mind's that aversion has arisen. You do not judge aversion. Say, okay, aversion has arisen. You do not try to push away aversion. The moment you note it, it goes away. So this is a quite maybe long introduction for the practice we are going to do. And it's not specific to the, it's not a practice that I found in the Pali Canon or in the Suttas. This is learning how to receive, and for that, if you cannot go to a Kung Fu training or if it's not your thing, then you can use your body and you can use your breath. So I invite you now to take a meditation posture. Feel comfortable for a short moment. You can sit on a chair or cross-legged, staying alert, spine straight. If you are to sit, you can lie down, of course. I have to clear my... You can place, if you like, your hands on top of each other and with the tip of the thumbs touching slightly, not pressing, just very slightly touching, very sensitive. This is, the fingertips are very, very sensitive. And this is the kind of sensitivity that we want to be aware of, right? And you place it on your lap. It allows the shoulders to be open, and so this part here, and the arms really can relax. You can close your eyes. And we are going to use the breath as our meditation object, meaning that we would put our attention to the breath, to the in-breath and to the out-breath. So you can start to pay attention to the in-breath and out-breath as it comes. And we can invite the breath to be as it is. If it's tensed, if it's full, if it's shallow, whatever, we are just receiving it. The breath is allowed to be as it is. is allowed to be as it is. We can be receptive to it, receive it. The body receives the breath, it receives the in-breath without without having to do anything. And although it might sound paradoxical, you can also receive the out breath, meaning allowing the release to happen, receiving the release, natural release of the out breath. Receiving the sensations of the in breath, receiving the sensations of the out breath. Receiving the coming of the in breath, receiving the outgoing of the out breath. We make receptive contact with the in breath. And letting go with the out breath. The letting go is not active, it just happens by itself. Just watch. Tensions are received. Allowed to be there. Receiving the in-breath, letting go with the out-breath. Receiving the full cycle of in-breath and out-breath. Noticing how all the sensations are always changing. Nothing remains the same for a second. One in-breath never the same as the next one. Always changing. Breath is not self. Doesn't need you to happen. It's an automatic process. It comes and goes according to conditions. Receiving inhalation, exhalation, and whatever mental activities according to that. And if the mind wanders, you bring it back, receptive, open to the movement of the breath, the pressure in the belly, the expansion of the chest. And receptive also to the falling down of the belly, to the compression of the chest. Fully aware, fully receptive. I breathe in. Fully aware, fully receptive. I breathe out. Whatever painful feeling associated with the breathing is received, noticed. Whatever agreeable feeling is received, noticed. not wanting to change anything, not wanting to keep anything. There is neither pleasant nor painful feeling associated with the breathing. Notice it. Feeling Vedana. If there is aversion arising in the mind due to painful feeling, notice it. And if there is any greed associated with agreeable feeling, just notice it. If the mind is numb, not receptive, notice it. If there is any mind shift, notice it. The mind gets agitated, contracted, or if it gets collected, unified, concentrated, notice it. And whenever you are ready, take your time, slowly, slowly. You can come back to the whole body, sitting. And whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes slowly, slowly. Invite the sight, seeing. Take your time, there is no rush. No rush to move. Sometimes it happens when the bodily formations, the body has really relaxed, that it wants to kind of stay frozen. And when it happens, then you invite motion, movement very slowly, maybe in your mudra. Just disconnect slowly, slowly. So this kind of practice you can extend to a longer period of time. And explore yourself, where the minds go, where the mind's attracted to, when it wants to do something else, when the pain increases, what's the reaction in the mind. And this is also an invitation for insight practice to look at the three characteristics of every conditioned phenomena, which is impermanent, not self, and suffering, anicca, anatta, dukkha in Pali language. And this is true. Those three characteristics, those are called the three doors, gateways. This is by looking at these three characteristics that the path and the fruit will open. So I'm talking for the different paths and stages of enlightenment. For those who are interested, in well-being, then or concentration only, samadhi. You can take as an object the breath, and just stay with the receptivity of in-breath and out-breath. If you want to, you can start like this, develop samadhi, and then do insight practice. Look at the three characteristics of everything that arises, from the tactile sensation to the mental moods and mental formations, everything in the hearing, smelling, different kind of six senses, consciousnesses. You look at the three characteristics, or you can stick to one. And actually, if you look at one, then the two others will manifest as well. For example, impermanence is directly linked to suffering, dukkha, because nothing is reliable. Everything disbands all the time. There is nothing which is concrete, solid, you can rely upon, or is fleeting, or is coming and going, even for an instant. And the path is the Noble Eightfold Path is quite clear. You develop morality, you develop samadhi, you develop insight practice. If one is missing, then is only concentration will bring you to well-being, temporary, but will not remove the fetters, will not uproot the defilements. You need insight. It's difficult to be very sensitive to what's happening inside if you do not develop concentration. And morality, as I said last week, actually is a support in daily life. And also it brings calmness in the mind, confidence that allows to get into samadhi kind of quicker, easier. And then, of course, then it support insight practice. Some cannot really have developed the material and immaterial absorptions, so they just start with insight practice. But insight practice might also, vipassana, can also lead to quite high states of concentration too. But the norm, samadhi is important. Even if often I say, yeah, be careful with the jhanas. Sometimes you can stay stuck there because it's very attractive, and you might think that it's enlightenment. So that's true. And you can have attachment to the well-being and the jhana states. So I always warn everybody about those, very agreeable states in a sense, more than sensual pleasures, but we need them because to counteract sensual pleasures and in order to be able to calm the mind, have a tranquil mind, to develop serenity, to develop serenity, then to develop insight practice. That's true that inside practice, you go to the different inside knowledges, and it can be very, very painful. And it's gonna break you apart, break you, everything you know, break you apart completely. Change everything about what you think you know. So usually this part, here we want to stay. This part, next time, inside practice next time. So we need really to invite this possibility too. Because without that, I don't see how you can improve the defilements, how you can actually experience nibbana and the path knowledge. And you will have only momentary relief without that, without insight practice. And also, the warning about the absorption states. It's also for people who are in the third path. So for the subtle attachment that you can have for the material or immaterial attainments, the jhanas, these have to go for arranged. At some point, you'll have to say, okay, jhanas, no jhanas, material jhanas, immaterial sphere, immaterial dimensions. Yeah, I've seen it through temporary, still not self, and dukkha, suffering. That might not be easy. Say, okay. For those who are used to this kind of concentration or this kind of very tranquil and open mind. But at the end, I would say that when everything is uprooted, greed, aversion, delusion, then the jhanas are, it is said that the jhanas are, yeah, pleasant dwellings, of course, and resting places for the mind, but they are still temporary, even for the arahant, for the fully enlightened being. And there is life, let's say, continues to happen anyway, at any stages, even for the arahant, painful feelings, pleasant feelings, neutral feelings still arrive, still seeing, still hearing, still sensing, still receiving, still giving. Still hunger still will be there. Tiredness, adversity of life, still not knowing what kind of decision to take sometimes. This is not because you will be enlightened that you will not face some painful situations. So don't take the jhanas as an escape. Direct experience. Of course, jhanas are also direct experiences, but don't use them as an escape for investigating. Inquiry is important. The understanding. Because it's not like being an arahant, you will be in kind of jhanic, blissful state all the time. You will still be bombarded by sense data. You will still feel painful feelings, good feelings, bad feelings, neutral feelings. And the decaying of the body. But defilements will be cut off. So let's say that the mind processes will be different, and there will be the understanding of the Four Noble Truths and of Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. So this was today's talk. Thank you for your attention. Please bow. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Unmute yourself, or you can go